first part of this series in the faulty sprint mechanics, we talked about body posture control and some drills we can do to work on that. Now, to bump it up into the next step, we're going to talk about faulty arm mechanics. A lot of athletes we have in here that come in, they struggle with learning how to properly pump the shoulders, or their arms might be going side to side, or it could be a combination of anything. So we really like to just have our athletes run, we observe, and then we break it down on what they need on an individualized, structured format. So some of the basic drills I like to do with our athletes is I'm gonna have them just stand right in front of the camera. We got Brandon here to kind of showcase. So we're gonna just do a high knee walk. All right, so when we do the high knee walk, I'm gonna tell him when one leg comes up, I want that opposite arm up. And I like to use the cue cheek to cheek. So we got one hand here, so butt cheek, face cheek. We're going opposite arm and leg because that is the subconscious gait pattern we want to keep us aligned and moving properly. So we're just gonna go high knees, 1, 2. And while he's doing that, I want him to come high on his toes. I want him to fire that glute. And I'm looking for one of those forearms, the fist clinched. I'll have you relax for a second. Okay, so what I'm looking for when I have somebody do that, I want the forearms open. All right, this is gonna turn on the palms open, I'm sorry. You want those forearm musculature firing a little bit. That's gonna reduce that lag in the backswing a little bit. And we want the shoulders pumping. You know, I wanna see a good pop, pop. I don't wanna see this kind of thing. From there, if I notice that the shoulders aren't pumping and it's all arms, no shoulders, a simple drill we'll do, grab a couple pads, and I will have Brandon have a seat on these pads with his legs straight. Okay. One setback on this drill, keeping in mind that I wouldn't use this if I was working on acceleration because that backswing is going to be so vigorous that it would literally hit the floor. But for the basic principle of just learning how to pump your shoulders in open stride mechanics, we can do this drill, it's fine. All right, so we're gonna go cheek to cheek, doesn't matter which one you choose. And I want you to vigorously pump those shoulders 5 times, okay? And if you notice, he's actually bouncing off of the cushion here, which is a good sign of what we wanna see. So if you wanna up the ante a little bit, I can give him verbal commands. I can shout out a random number and he has to react. So whatever number I say, you have to pump your arms that many times. Ready? 3, 2, 5. Get the point? All right, the shoulders are pumping, palms are open, forearms turned on. I like what I see. I'm gonna bump them up. You can stand up. All right. So now, without moving anywhere, notice we haven't done anything where we've really traveled a great distance, okay? We're keeping it really basic at this point. So now I'm just gonna have Brandon get in a little split staggered stance, all right? So that right leg is back. I want that right arm to be the one that's up by that face cheek. Good, good. And I'm gonna have you bend this elbow a little bit more, okay? And I'm gonna give him a verbal command of how many times I want him to pump his shoulders from this position. So if it's 3, it's 3, 2, 5. Very good, okay. One of those drills that seems very basic, but keeping it basic can be key when you're working with young athletes. And the more we ingrain that motor pattern into a young athlete's brain, the more beneficial it becomes. All right, at this point, we're gonna bump it up a little bit. And I'm gonna have Brandon get in a half kneeling position. Facing me. This is one of the more advanced ones that I got from Lee Taft. This is a great drill I picked up in his course, so credit to him. I did not come up with this. Okay, so from here, what I'm gonna have Brandon do, I'm gonna drop the ball, and I want Brandon to get in a sprinter stance, well, with the arms. And when I drop the ball, I'm gonna want Brandon to get up and catch it before it hits the ground twice, okay? Ready? Okay. So, pretty close distance, and one of the biggest things we see in that, when a kid comes out of that, is they're just gonna, in their head, they're thinking, I just gotta catch the ball, so they're gonna come out and just reach, okay? Now I'm gonna bump it up, I'm gonna say, give me 2 arm actions before you catch the ball. Okay, so that's gonna force him to come out of that stance, pump his shoulders, and then reach for the ball. Make sense? Okay. Good. So good drill you can do, make it reactionary based, keep the athlete engaged. We'll do that one more time. I'm gonna stand a little bit further back. Right. 2 arm actions before you get the ball. All right, so there you have it with the arm action.